Well, in recent weeks, one White House figure in particular has been speaking out on Burma, or Myanmar as the military regime calls it. Not George W. Bush, but the First Lady, Laura Bush.
2 weeks after the murders of peaceful protesters in Myanmar's capital, Laura Bush is calling the crackdown shameful. In today's Wall Street Journal, the First Lady writes, the generals must immediately stop their terror campaigns against their own people. The First Lady has been a powerful voice for the people of Myanmar at the UN, in White House meetings, and teaming with female senators to call for the release of democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi.
The women of the United States stand with her.
In a recent interview, the First Lady told us it was her cousin, an advocate for Myanmar, who first got her interested in the story of Aung San Suu Kyi, who has been under house arrest on and off for 18 years.
She's led a very interesting life of courage, I'd have to say, and sacrifice.
But it was the protests that began in August, led by thousands of monks, that really grabbed the First Lady's attention.
It was when we were at the ranch, and I became more and more worried as I read these different dispatches because no one was speaking out.
Mrs. Bush is not the first wife of a president to involve herself in foreign policy. Eleanor Roosevelt visited U.S. troops in Europe and the Pacific. Rosalind Carter met with Latin American leaders, and Hillary Clinton visited more than 80 countries. But Mrs. Bush's involvement, says historian Stephen Hess, is different.
Most times they're backstage. This is a case in which this First Lady is quite openly, quite deliberately saying things on behalf of the United States.
And do you talk to the President about this? I do talk about it with him. I mean, he's interested very much also, just like I am.
And the White House acknowledges that Mrs. Bush has helped her husband focus on the tragedy in Myanmar.